Hey, it's Pastor Mike of Emerge Family Ministries, and in the next few minutes in our weekly update, we're going to tell you everything you need to know to have you, your family, or your children plugged into what God's doing through Emerge.
People of God, yeah, the people of God, and when we sing the angel songs.
Welcome to this week's update, and before I get into events, I just want to say thank you again for a lot of you guys that signed up to be a part of helping out in Kid City. And I want to really encourage you to get your paperwork in, get online, and get the registration done. If you haven't signed up yet and you'd be willing to give us an hour or 2 hours a week, once a month, to help work in the ministry, and sometimes it can be hands-on with kids, sometimes it doesn't have to be. We've got a lot of jobs that need to be done, like curriculum stuff and all kinds of things, check-in, that don't necessarily involve direct contact with the kids. So if you're interested, there's a link in this email that takes you to how to get signed up, what applications you need to fill out, and all that. So get signed up with us. All right, as we get into events, let's talk about summer camp.
Central Kid is awesome. I get to be a kid again.
And parents of 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, we're going to summer camp this summer, but spots are going fast.
All about Jesus, you can sing your heart out.
There's so much that these kids learn about. They have a great time, and more importantly, we really focus on building relationships with these kids and teaching them about Christ.
This will be my 8th year of going to Central Kid Camp, one of the greatest camps around. You're going to want your 3rd, 4th, or 5th, or 6th grader to go with us. Call the church office and see if we've still got some spots, July 19th through the 23rd. Okay, well, a few other events that are coming up is on May 29th, which is a Saturday. We are actually helping host a block party in Carver Heights, bringing in Raw Servant, and going to have an outside event there at Bear Park, so you might want to come out and be a part of that. It's pretty much going to be all day on Saturday, but we'll probably start 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. If you want to come out lunchtime or in the afternoon, Raw will probably be on in the afternoon. Also, he's going to be with us the next day on that Sunday morning. The youth band's going to lead worship with Raw Servant, and Raw is going to give us testimony. And then that night we have our Ignite worship service. So it's going to be a great weekend full of stuff that you guys can come and be involved with. On May 23rd, we're having another Emerge skate party. We have these every once in a while, and they're great events. Everybody can come out. There are times when we have several hundred people that come out from the church and hang out. It's a family event. You can come out. $7. Get you in the door and get you some skates to skate. The cool thing is it's a fundraiser. Every time we do this, Skate World gives us half the money. So it's a great family event for you to come out, but it's also a way for you to support the ministry. So join us May 23rd for the skate party. Okay, and finally, for those of you who are parents of teenagers, we're starting something a little different this week. On Wednesday nights from 5 to 6 before youth group, from 5 to 6 p.m., we're going to have something called The Forum. We're going to let a small amount of kids come in. First 25, 30 at the most are going to be able to come in, and we're going to talk about hard topics. We're going to let them ask questions. We're just going to have a forum, a time of discussion. So if you want to have your kids involved with the forum for the next few weeks while we really tackle some hard issues, have them come to youth at 5 o'clock from 5 to 6. The forum starts this Wednesday night. Okay, well, let's get into the classrooms. And in our nursery, of course, this month, it's our buzzwords. Our people at church help me. And so we've been trying to get that concept of help and helping each other, but church is a place where people help you. And got an interesting idea, depending on where your baby is developmentally, but maybe get some different texture of cloth. Put them on the floor and help your baby walk over them, or maybe rub them on their feet and see how they react, to it. And so you're kind of working on motor sensory skills a little bit. But then while you're doing that, you might talk about the fact that Jesus washed his disciples' feet and that he taught us to help people. And so we are to help people, and also people at church help us. So give that a shot and see how that works. And like you say, I'm always open to hear from you guys if you have any good ideas about how you have expressed this idea to your baby. Okay, and with our preschoolers this week, we are still in the series called Big. We're talking about, even though you're little, you could do big things for God. And so that's kind of the application. Hopefully, again, you use the take-home sheets that we have for you here. In here, it talks about the story this week was the leper who was so thankful and came back and gave praise to God. So we talked about this week the fact that a big thing you can do is being thankful, is just giving thanks. And so you might want to, with the rest of this week, you might want to talk with your child about things they're thankful for, even every day, maybe driving to school or at night around the dinner table. Or what are we thankful for? Because being thankful is a big thing we can do, even though we're small or we're just a child or even an adult for that matter. But this week's the idea of teaching them thankfulness and that it is a big thing for them to do. Well, I'm really excited. In Children's Church, we have started a superheroes series. And basically each week we're talking about the fact that you can be a superhero. And we're talking about a certain superpower that we have that will make us a hero. This week we talked about endurance. Sticking it out and you know, hanging in there and enduring. The stories that we used were Noah and the fact that it took him so long to build that boat, but he kept going and got it done. We talked about Nehemiah and him rebuilding the wall. And then we also talked about the four guys, just like Pastor did a few weeks ago, the four guys carrying their friend on the mat. So we talked about endurance and sticking it out. And so you might want to talk about each day places they see people that are enduring, or things that they're enduring in. If they're having a hard time with a certain class, or if they're having a hard time with certain people, that they would endure and that they would be a superhero in doing that.
We shine the light of God, and when we speak.
Well, last night at Epic, we did start the forum, and it was a fantastic first night of discussion. I even got a full letter from one of our little girls about the topic we talked about and the effect on her life, and just our discussion time, that she really got a lot out of it. So I want to encourage you to have your teenagers come to the forum and just be part of discussion. A lot of what we talked about last night was relationship, guy-girl relationship. It seems like no matter what I try to talk to them about, it always comes back to that, but it was really good. But in our in our discussion last night, we talked about Moses. We got up to Moses in our story. We're still going chronologically. And we talked about when he killed the Egyptian, he had a passion for the abused, the bullied, those. He had this passion. So we talked about the concept of passion last night. Now, what is your passion? The fact that passion can be misplaced. You can be passionate about a video game and you sit there and play it all night till the sun comes up, but that may not be the healthiest choice for you. So we talked about the fact that passion is a God-given thing, though, and that the things inside of you that really get you fired up. You know, there's some people that get fired up over litter. There's some people that get fired up over women's rights. There's some people that get fired up over all kinds of different topics that we kind of brought up last night. And I talked about the fact that, you know, those passions, there's a good chance that maybe God put those passions there and you can use those to honor Him. So I just want to encourage you maybe to talk about with your teen, what are their passions? What is it that really gets them fired up? What is it that really has them sitting on the edge of their seat when that topic comes up? And maybe help them start to sort of figure out, how do I use that to honor God? What is it that God would want me to do with that to bring honor to Him? Love you guys. Hope you're having a great week. And we'll see you next week.